Hi, everyone. My name is David Fisher, and I have a firm called Creative Real Estate Strategies based in Houston. I am fortunate to work with great luxury residential brokers all over the country. I'd like to spend just a couple of seconds on the LA mansion tax, and then we're going to talk about other taxes that apply to every one of you, regardless of where you are, anywhere in the country. Personally, I think the LA mansion tax is criminal. There's no excuse for it. There's no reason for it. But unfortunately, if you live in the LA area, you're going to have to deal with it. But there may be a silver lining in all of this. Let me explain why. This may be the first time, maybe ever, that now luxury residential real estate professionals are seeing the impact of taxes on selling those amazing properties. Now, you can't get out, from what I can tell, of the LA mansion tax. There may be some things you can do, but for the most part, it's going to have to be paid, or most of it will have to be paid. But what about the rest of the taxes? I mean, stop and consider. The LA mansion tax is 4 to 5.5%. But what about the other taxes? Regardless of where you sell those amazing real estate properties, whether it's downtown Manhattan, whether it's Chicago, South Beach in Miami, Aspen, wherever, your clients are going to have to pay a 20% capital gains tax, anywhere from 0 to 13% state tax, and the 3.8% Medicare tax on the gains on the sale of the property. Let's use a simple example. Say, for example, you have a client bought his home anywhere in the country for $3 million. And now he can sell it for 10, so he has a $7 million capital gain, which is amazing. You lived in a home for a number of years, and now you have a $7 million gain, but not so fast. Depending on where you live, you're going to have to pay that 20% capital gains tax, 0 to 13% state tax, and the 3.8% Medicare tax on the gains of your sale. What does that mean? Assuming for a minute that you live in a state where there's no state income tax, you're going to wind up paying about 24% in tax, which will equate to about $1.6 million. That's right. If you're in one of the higher tax states where you have a higher state tax, you could be paying as much as, I wrote it down, bear with me, almost $2.6 million in tax. That too is criminal. Now, in the interest of full disclosure to all of you, you probably have been told there's nothing you can do to defer those taxes. Well, maybe you can turn it into an investment property and do a 1031, but that really doesn't work, maybe in rare occasions. But now you can. Working together, we can defer all of those taxes for the rest of the seller's life, generate about a 5% cap rate on that tax deferral, and everything can be passed on to your heirs. So in this particular case, we can defer somewhere between 1.6, $2.6 million, generate about a 5% cap rate, and everything can be passed on to the heirs when the seller passes on. Now you've got something. And best of all, imagine if you're after this particular listing and you have competition with another great broker. The other broker comes in and gives a great presentation. You come in next and you also give a great presentation, but you ask a question the other broker didn't at the end. Mr. Prospect, have you talked to your CPA or tax attorney about taxes you're going to have to pay? Well, yeah, I'm going to have to pay $2 million in taxes. Well, what if we could defer the $2 million in taxes and generate about $100,000 a year in income for the rest of your life? You can defer those taxes for the rest of your life, generate $100,000 a year minimum in income, and everything can be passed on to your heirs. You can do that? Absolutely. Well, why didn't the other, broker tell me about it? Look, all I can tell you is we work really hard to bring cutting edge ideas to our clients. Here's another opportunity. I've been on many of your websites, and I see some of these amazing McMansions, if you will, being rented out instead of being sold. Now, why is that? Well, maybe the property owner actually wants to rent them, or maybe they're told by their CPA, their tax attorney, if you sell that McMansion, you're going to pay millions in taxes. Well, now you have a solution having to pay those taxes. So imagine if you have somebody that wants to rent that $10 million property out, but now you have the solution where you can actually sell that 10 million. I'm going to assume you make a little bit more money when you sell a McMansion than when you rent one out. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what we can do. The best part is now you know. So I'd love to hear from you. First, I appreciate your interest and courtesy in spending a couple minutes of your valuable time with me. You can contact me at 713-702-6401. You can email me at david@cresnosrealestate.com, or you can contact me on my website, which has more information about deferring taxes on luxury residential properties at www.cresdeferstaxes.com. Working together, I honestly believe we can help you sell more real estate when taxes are an obstacle. Again, I appreciate your interest and courtesy. Have a great day, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.